and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Duff.
Here.
Claiborne. Minnelli.
Yes.
Toretto.
Yes.
Morago.
Yep.
Pepper.
Yes.
Cheers, everybody. I believe Aaron has something going on tonight, so I get a motion to excuse Aaron,
Motion.
please. I will second. I'm second by Kathy. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. First thing, could everybody just turn their cell phones off, please, if you're muted or whatever, so don't go off during the meeting. Okay. No correspondence. ZBA minutes from last meeting. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, complaints?
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We are going to do one case tonight. ZBA case 22-720, Deborah Merlino. Thank you. 1440 Thurston, Wolverine Lake, Michigan 4390. Basis for the appeal, 1250.06, setback from property line. R1-B requires 35-foot rear yard setback. Applicant proposes a 26.75-foot setback to construct a wood deck. Can I hear a motion to open, please?
Motion.
Second.
Second by Kathy. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Deborah, please stand up, come to the podium, state your name and your address, tell us what you'd like to do in detail, and how and why you need the 8.25-foot setback restriction.
Name Deborah Merlino, address 1440 Thurston, Wolverine Lake. I'd like to build a deck, and if I adhere to the 35-foot clearance, my deck can only be 8 foot, which means I could put no patio furniture or anything on it. So I would like to ask for 8 additional feet to build a deck that I could put tables and seating equipment on. I did talk to the neighbors whose fence that I would need the variance from, Danielle and Mike, and they're okay with it. They said go ahead and build.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, just have a lot of yard there and would like to make it usable.
You do have a lot of yard, that's for sure. Okay, cool. We'll probably come back here for some questions. Feel free to have a seat. This time we open it up to the public. Would anybody like to speak on behalf? Deborah? See no one against? See no one. We'll close the public. Open to the board for questions. Now, you did not build this house, correct?
I did not.
Okay, yes, so this house actually came in front of ZBA when it was built, I think, how old's your house? 8 years?
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like 8 years ago. Right, Tim, there was something that we did on this house, I don't remember what it was, but I remember the guy sitting in the audience. It was him and his dad that were gonna build this house.
Yeah, it was a dual front, those are always
Yeah,
tricky.
yeah, I remember, so, because I don't,
Paige didn't note that on the application, I don't think.
Yeah,
Did
'cause-
she?
I didn't see that.
yeah, because,
This is the reason it's arranged this way, because of the width and averaging, and getting an even with a house on the other street and all that kind of stuff.
right, and they built it over there because the old basement was where their septic field is now, and they couldn't build where the septic field is because of virgin ground.
Yeah.
So that's why they pushed the house. That's why there's so much property on that corner right there, and her house kind of is tucked off to the side.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it was like that, but I mean, that's kind of what I remember about the meeting of why that house was designed. Does that sound correct, Tim?
Sounds great.
So we're saying it's a non-conforming.
Pretty much, it's a non-conforming lot. I mean, it's a, she could do a raised patio right now, right, Tim, and not have to get any type of
That's correct, you can put
variance from us at all. But because she's choosing,
a raised patio it's the same as a deck,
not if it's below 30, right?
not if it's below 18.
18 inches.
18 inches.
She could technically do 18 and probably do a step down.
Yeah, you can have steps out and then to 18 inches.
Now, again, but she's choosing to do a wood deck, that's why she's here. It's probably a little more cost effective to do wood or Trex or whatever it is she's doing more than doing some type of aggregate deck. So any questions from anybody? I'm sure everybody had a chance to go see it. If not, we'll go through our checklist. Everybody ready for that? I don't want to rush anybody.
Ready?
Okay, good? All right, give me a second.
So just to confirm that there was already a zoning request and it was approved, so the property is non-conforming currently?
Yes, and again, I don't remember what it was. I know the house because we walk by it all the time. It's in our neighborhood. So I just know that the house we sat on at one point during a meeting because I remember the dad and the son who were building it as a team, and Tim's obviously at this point confirmed, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Okay.
But more than likely because of how it's situated in
Right.
that corner. So it's a little bit non-conforming, and if she had to conform to a 35-foot deck or 35-foot rear setback, I mean, an 8-foot deck that's a pretty tight deck. Not a lot you can do on a deck of that size. So let's go through our checklist. We'll kind of see where we're at, unless anybody else has any other questions. Okay, agree or disagree that special or unique conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, and which are not generally applicable to the other land, structures, or buildings in the same district. I will agree with that because it's already a non-conforming lot. Does anybody disagree with that? So I can put 5 agrees, non-conforming lot. Agree or disagree the literal interpretation of the provision of the zoning ordinance would deprive the applicant the right commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the same zoning terms, and that the variance is the minimum necessary.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
I disagree with that.
Okay. Tell me why you disagree. Because I think agree we have because it's a non-conforming lot. I'm not saying you're wrong, I just want to hear why.
Yeah, well, because it would be just as easy to put maybe it's not this question, it's just easy to put a patio, you should put a deck, and there's plenty of space for it, and that's why.
There are other options.
There are other options,
Okay.
yeah.
Agree or disagree the special condition of the circumstances do not result from the action of the applicant, they are not self-created. I think we can agree they are self-created. She's obviously wanting a deck. There's not, it's usually the case with this question. Does everybody agree with that?
Yep.
It's a self-created issue.
I agree.
This of applicants. Agree or disagree the granting of the variance will be in harmony with general purpose and intent of the ordinance. I'll agree with that. Again, it's a non-conforming lot.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
Me too.
The variance will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the general welfare. Do we all agree there?
Agree.
Yes.
Agree.
And it's not going to be a public safety hazard. We all agree there?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, at this point, I'd like to propose, go ahead, go.
Read it. All right, you're done.
Like to propose,
You gotta do number 6.
oh, I did 6.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
They did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Why, do you disagree with 6?
No.
Okay.
Blanked out for a
So
minute.
fast.
Well, I mean, it's not really.
Lightning speed.
Well, you know,
All right.
good things are in two.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ZBA case 22-720 for 1 through 6 as the reason.
Second.
Okay, and we're going to allow an 8.25-foot additional setback
Yes.
for her proposed deck.
Specifically 26.75-foot setback.
Yes. Okay. We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any discussion on the motion? If not, we'll go to a roll call, please.
Duff,
Yes.
Ingram,
Who?
Ingram.
okay.
Who's Ingrid?
Nope, used to be in here.
Used to be here.
For some reason, my
Delete.
thing is
I was gonna
populating.
Said yes.
I'm sorry. And that's why I was like, I don't remember it being me this while, so sorry about that. Rongo,
Yes.
Tupper,
Yes.
Milady,
Yes.
and we have Moretto, right?
Yes.
I already called Duff. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Okay. You're good? Give the ladies upstairs a day or two to kind of get your permits and stuff together. work with Tim, and you should be all set.
Okay, great.
All right? Good luck.
Or should I stay?
You can leave. You can stay. It's a public meeting, whatever you'd like. Drinks afterwards, but that's okay. Okay, new business, I have none. Council, you want to go over anything?
Going into budget stuff, so, I mean, we don't really have a whole lot of budget stuff here.
I sent that thing back in.
Yeah, I saw it. Our new treasurer is still here, so that's positive.
Got 1 month in.
That's 1 month.
Did you do
Okay.
a training that you?
Yeah, yep. So we actually, it was good timing. They had a pretty intensive training for Oakland County Treasury stuff that she ended up being able to go to. So she learned a bunch of stuff there, came back, and is working side by side with Mike currently to, again, learn the specifics for the village. And not quite there yet, but again, gaining knowledge and should be good to go.
Yeah, I met her. I came in and pay a water bill for my mom, and she was like a very nice lady.
Yep.
So, yeah, look forward to working with her. All right, anything else you want to go over? Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Our table business from last month is our new victim. Patrick, pronounce your last name? Brzezowski. Brave young man, wants to come in and do the waters of the zoning board. Do you need him to come up and do address stuff, or no? Can you on the podium?
Yeah, sure. Well,
If you want to.
If it, unless they can record it from there, but.
Can you stand up and introduce yourself?
Yeah. So just kind of give us kind of a quick rundown of who you are, what you are, and why you want to be here.
Sure. Well, first off, good evening. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I did provide my resume. You'll see I have various backgrounds in planning and zoning. Previously, I was with the city of Pontiac for about 5 years doing, managing the code enforcement division there, and also working with planning and zoning. And I worked for the city of South Lyon doing planning and zoning administration in Clinton and Shiawassee counties previous. So I graduated from Northern Michigan in 2007 with a planning degree. And it's something that's always been a passion of mine in terms of studying and practicing. That in addition to always wanting to serve on a board. I moved in the area. I moved back from up north a while back, but then my wife and I finally got settled around 2015. We moved in Commerce Township, just a block north of Wolverine Lake. That was 2015, and then we moved into the village 2019. And so, here I am, and I just thought it would be a good time to potentially utilize my services for the village and give back in a service style type of way.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Cool.
That's a little bit about me.
Well, obviously, you know what happens on a zoning board. I always kind of say the same speech. You may not be the most popular guy at the ice cream store because you have to sit up here and sometimes make judgments on your neighbors. And it is what it is. And, it's part of being on this board. I mean, it's not like planning where, they're a little, don't have as much public stuff. It's very similar to council where this is a very public board, and what we obviously say attaches to this house for the lifetime of that house. So it's something that has to be serious. Your resume is fantastic. It's, you're more qualified than me, so maybe you'll have my job one day. But that being said, are you okay with that, understanding that?
Certainly, it comes with experience as well. I've had to deal with that for quite a long time.
Sure, being on code enforcement.
Right,
that's not the most popular job.
it's the nature of it, but, it's all about making the right decision and upholding the values of the community, in my opinion, so.
So, again, every third Tuesday, or third Tuesday? Third Tuesday of the month. Now, we don't have meetings every month. You'll be notified ahead of time if there's going to be meetings. We try to get everybody here in every meeting, but we understand there's always going to be things that happen. But if there's going to be 10 meetings in a year, the expectation is you're going to be here 9 of those 10.
Sure.
We've had people that are doing 5 of 10. That's just not acceptable. We don't ask a ton of time of people. So when we do need these folks, we expect people to be here because we can't table meetings because we don't have, as you know, if we don't have enough people, we can't have a meeting legally. So
Right.
You're okay with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Have a seat. Thank you. he's more than qualified, so I have no issue with recommending him to the board. I mean, if anybody
Yeah, I
else has
agree.
questions,
Yep.
I mean, his resume is
Glad to
pretty...
have you, Pat.
Okay,
Make a
so...
motion
go
that
ahead.
we proceed in terms of accepting him as a board applicant and send it to council for final approval.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, cool. So they'll let you know, do you want him to come to council like we've done in the past?
He can, it's really up to you.
They'll notify you of kind of what's the next council meeting. They'll probably talk about it. You know,
Well, they'll hopefully appoint him because we want to get him on
Yeah.
as soon as possible. So will the next council meeting be before the next ZBA?
yes, it should be.
Yeah.
So that, assuming you'll get approved and you'll be on there, but aren't you going to want to swear him in on that day?
You can do it anytime.
Yeah, he can come
once
back
it's
in.
voted on.
Okay, so assuming you're going to be approved, you need to be sworn in. I think there's a document you sign
Yeah.
upstairs. So if you want to come to the meeting, they might be able to do all that for you then.
Okay.
If you can't make that meeting, then you'll have to come back in before our meeting to be able to get the stuff done up there, to be able to sit in on this meeting. And do we have a meeting next month?
Do we?
So as of right now, no? Or you don't know?
I have no idea.
Oh, you have no idea?
I deny a lot of things, but I don't know if
So positive.
they want to pay the fee. And I know I had one in today that they're going to not, today was a deadline.
Yeah, I would say today would be the deadline, so.
And if I bring it back tomorrow, they made application today, but my denial isn't. So there's a little argument upstairs.
Well, again, we're fine with coming.
The applicant, the person that wants to be on next month, thinks that they met the deadline by applying today. But they're saying upstairs, I have to have it denied today.
Well, I'll stay out of that argument. You guys can figure it out. Either we'll see them in June or we'll see them in July. One of the two.
Either or.
It would be, if it is June 21st.
Okay.
You can jot that down, it's a potential.
And I'll try to make the council meeting, certainly. I have no problem with
What
that.
day's council?
Wednesday. Yeah.
Be
It's
the,
like the second.
The second Wednesday.
Yep.
It's on YouTube too, so probably watch on there. That's what I did in my past, so.
and you guys don't need me there like in the past. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because they've asked me before to come, but not lately.
June 8th is the next council.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, he used to ask me to come.
June 8th.
Like to bless it. I don't, like, we've already blessed it. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
it's up to
because
you
it's kind of
guys.
weird because it's not even, this is like an unwritten rule kind of that the board is approving. It's a procedure. There's
Yeah,
no
it's
real.
procedural.
no,
I just, yeah, and then
law about
I
it,
haven't
so
come to the last
the
few that have been
ordinance
on the board, but I remember they always used to say, well, no, why don't you come to the,
They just wanted to see
Yeah, I
it.
didn't go.
that's all.
no, they probably really did.
I did. I mean, it's kind of nice. You get
It's
up
nice
there
to
and they
meet them.
announce your name and you
Yeah.
get to stand up and they pledge in and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
You
Makes
feel
it
official.
feel
You feel
official.
official.
No,
Yeah,
they used to
that's
ask
I know they did all
me to
that.
come,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
But it's just nice for the
Get
applicants.
some applause.
Oh,
that's good.
All right, so real quick, I just want to go over one thing. Have we got anything in regards to the shed thingies by the lake? Has anything been figured out here?
No, nothing has, they need to have it put on the agenda in order for it to be discussed.
Okay, because a resident somehow got my cell phone number,
Oh.
contacting me, thinking that I could solve his problem.
Oh, okay.
And I referred him to, of course, the village and to the
Yeah.
administrator and to Tim to say, there's nothing I can do for you. All I do is sit on a board. You need to take this to the proper
Right.
steps. So,
Right.
so, again, I just didn't know if anything was being discussed on it.
I just
so.
think that there's so many people that are now making, like this lady here, you know, trying to make their home more beautiful because they're staying home more, and so
Sure.
the backyard, you know, is where they are expanding to, and in some cases where we have lakefront, that's, backyard is the lakefront. So there's
Yeah,
a lot of people that want to put something.
I was on the lake a couple times in the last week or so. There's definitely some new stuff that has popped up around the lake that I don't necessarily
Yeah.
think is valid. So
Right.
I think code enforcement may need to get on a boat and drive around a little bit. I mean, we have a second person that has put up a fence along Schenken, I believe is the street, where's the big white contemporary house as you go down the Penny Lake side? Is that Shanken? Yeah.
It's shaking Wabasso.
Yeah, so there's 2 houses over there now that have
Have a
put
fence.
fences into their backyard and come up, not all the way to the water, but they're, I don't know, 25 feet from the water. They have real long lots and they go down on a hill, so whatever. I mean, I know code enforcement may not be able to see it from the road, but we all know that fences are not allowed. I was going to take a picture of it and send it to code enforcement, but, I mean, he needs to get out and see that.
I told you.
What's that?
Oh, I just told Bill.
We've had this
Who was our
conversation
code
about 3
enforcement
times, like,
officer.
Well, I'm trying to get it on the record so Bill sees it on the record. I mean, I assume the upstairs watches these videos and looks at the minutes. So I guess what we're saying as a board is he needs to look at some stuff. We can't do that, but, there is stuff out there and he may need to get on the boat and
Because
take a little ride.
it does cause conflict for this board. Conflict for this board.
Sure. Fences on the lake for sure cannot be allowed. These 2 homes, one has had a fence there for 3 years at least. I have no idea how this is allowed. And I have brought it up numerous times sitting in this chair. So if he doesn't want to do anything about it, I guess we'll continue to see fences on the lake.
He'll do stuff. I mean, I just met with him today in court. He's pursuing other things, but that
Okay,
wasn't,
well,
but yeah, so.
Maybe add this to the agenda.
All right, well, we'll talk afterwards. I'll get the address when we have to.
We'll talk. Okay, anything else you guys want to go over? If not, we'll get out of here.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome, Ken.
Okay.